Filoni baloney. Boy, has he strayed away from the George's apprentice.
I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
So David Filoni speaks at the National Center for Women and Information Technology. His talk is based upon female leads, what he thinks about that, where he stands with it. And so I thought this was very interesting. Myself, I was never been a big fan of Filoni from the beginning. And, you know, there are many that are huge fans, even called him George Lucas's apprentice, or the chosen one to combat what Disney Lucasfilm is doing with the lore. So check this out.
Even ever have in canon the idea that he had an apprentice, let alone that it would be a girl. I didn't care. I thought that's a great idea because I didn't want to just make Luke Skywalker again. I wanted a character that had different challenges and could have a different story than Luke. But, you know, and for George it wasn't. I mean, obviously it was his idea. For fans, this was a very different idea.
Filoni, we did not want another Luke. We did not want another female Luke. We want new characters that we see grow and expand, trials and tribulations, you know, similar to what George Lucas, your first boss that you sat down and, you know, under his tutelage, I guess you can say, created the Clone Wars, but through the myth and legends, through the hero's journey, using that. Yes, we did not want another Luke Skywalker.
Myths help you to have your own hero's journey, find your individuality, find your place in the world. George Lucas.
I don't think it's a mystery that I've always been a bit more in the Ahsoka lives camp. And George has been very full on in the Ahsoka dies camp. I think I've said that before, if not Revelation.
So how Filoni feels about Ahsoka is nothing new to the fans. And it's not new as well on how George felt about her and having her killed off before Order 66 compared to what we've seen in the Disney canon. So let's check out this next part of the clip.
This funny assumption by a lot of people, you know, because the older fans are complaining, why is this, you're making it for kids. That's the funniest thing anybody ever says to me, you're making Star Wars for kids. I'm like, yeah, okay. How old were you when you saw Star Wars? And they're, oh, the first time I saw Star Wars, I was 7 years old, and my dad took me, and I'm like, uh-huh. And you want to rob this experience from kids today, why? And make it all dark and sinister and evil? Okay. Anyway, back to Ahsoka.
Filoni. You do not realize that adults seen Star Wars first when it first came out, then they loved it so much, they took their kids. So yes, adults seen Star Wars from the beginning. And yes, even kids at the time when it was groundbreaking, seen Star Wars at that young age of like 3 all the way up. So George, yes, he said he wanted to make Star Wars for those who are children and also for the adults to bring out the kid in them. So basically he stated before that he wanted Star Wars for those who were 7, 17, and 70. So of all ages to enjoy. And you know what else, Filoni and anybody who's watching this, I began loving Star Wars at a very, very young age because of the adults in my family. So there is proof that it is for all age without the females. And yeah, I reiterate, the females in my family, I would not be a huge Star Wars fan. So what is this myth about women are unable to like Star Wars? You tell me that.
There's this assumption that young girls were going to like the character of Ahsoka. We relate that, right? Apples to apples. Of course, we make a young girl character, so all the young girls would like Ahsoka. It's almost to say, like, but what about the boys? You know? So what we found was this amazing thing. It will shock none of you. That when you create a strong, independent, intelligent character that shows no fear, that can do amazing things, boys and girls like her. This
Pretty clear. clear that boys and girls, men and women, all, well, the majority or a large group of them loved Ahsoka's arc. And I have even heard people tell me that, and I agree to an extent as well, that Ahsoka was very annoying in the beginning, and then as her character developed, you know, everybody started favoring her. So the point is here, Filoni, and you just like kind of killed your point with this, is that girls and boys, men and women, can like a female character, and they had no problem with the female character. And guess what? It's under George Lucas's era of Star Wars. Holy crap. So why the shift now? When men and women, boys and girls, all loved Ahsoka on top of many other EU characters, and including the lady of Star Wars, Leia Organa.
Scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
When you look at Rey, on The Force Awakens, she's a female lead in a whole new chapter of the Star Wars saga. We haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. And what is it? Is it Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out, and it's another female lead. Oh my gosh, how unfair. We've had probably like 2 million straight film cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we've done 2 in a row that are women. Well, too bad. Oh well. Maybe there are more coming.
I have noticed that Filoni has not brought up any of the PT characters that are female, and the lead PT characters that are female, and the OT characters that are female. So he's basically, what it sounds like here is that basically he's trying to say or insinuate that George Lucas did not have any female leads, that he was sexist. And I have argued this before with many people when it comes to the new female leads that Disney Star Wars is bringing us, and it's groundbreaking because Star Wars never had any new or any female leads. Well, again, Organa and Amidala. So we have Leia Organa, and later on Leia Organa Solo in the EU. She was our first lady of Star Wars. She was one of the 3 protagonists, and we see her first in Star Wars A New Hope. The story is about her as well. She is a lead character. Then when George came out with the PT, we had Padme Amidala. We had Queen Amidala Nabiri. And she was our lady, second lady of Star Wars. She was our PT leading lady. Again, there's 3 protagonists. There is Anakin, there is Obi-Wan, and there is Padme. And so he's failing to bring that up. And then he mentions that, oh, well, you know, we in the past got like 20 female leads, and then compared to the millions or whatever he said, when it came to the male leads, I don't think anybody really had a problem with that. Why? Because we are more interested in the story and what the story arc does for the lead character, whether it's female, male, or alien, or whatever imaginative like new type of being that the creator makes. We want a story that gives us an interesting character despite the gender, despite this even the race or diversity. We want an interesting character. So it is just disgusting to me, or I just cannot wrap my mind around why he's not bringing up any of George Lucas's characters, female leads and females like Mon Mothma. And, you know, we see a lot of female characters in the OT or the PT regarding, you know, the Jedi as well. We see that. Yet he fails to recognize that because he's following a narrative that Disney Lucasfilm is creating right now. They're acting like this is groundbreaking. It's not groundbreaking. We've had female leads.
This idea that, like, and I run into this sometimes when working with writers, it's like, well, we just made one of those. Made one of what? We just made a female lead. We can make another one. Really? Yes, we can. There's more than one woman in the world. There's more than one woman here in the world. Why is that so strange? If we made like 5 men heroes in a row, no one would blink. You know, Rey, she impresses Han Solo. He's like the guy's guy, impresses him, impresses everybody in the audience. She goes up with Kylo Ren, she punks him right away. Like, he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm going to take you out. And she did, and I'm all for it. And she looks strong. It's not that she doesn't show any fear. She looks like this is an intense moment in her life, and we're there with her because of that, because she's a real, feeling, dimensional person. That's what we want, a real, feeling, dimensional person.
So what Filoni's saying for Disney Lucasfilm is that they want a character that has no trials or tribulations, no setbacks, no help, that they can do everything perfect. So this does not even defend the Mary Sue trope that it seems like he is coming to with a conclusion of this. In fact, also with, creating more female leads. So let's take a look at the first female of Star Wars, Leia Organa Solo, and her hero's journey, as well as the trials and tribulations that Padme went through, our second lady of Star Wars, along with many other EU characters as well. I shared those in the video already, but we'll expand a little bit more on that.
Leia, as a heroine, deserves special mention as we look at the cultural and historical roots of Star Wars mythic elements. Leia, with her take charge attitude and gutsy, no-nonsense values, her focus on her career and her fear of rushing into a romantic commitment, was most appropriate heroine of her time. Leia was also ahead of her time as a female holding a top position in the Rebel Alliance.
The courts take even longer to decide things than the Senate. We must do something quickly to stop the Federation.
We are trying to create an environment where it's my hope that kind of just like Luke, all he did was open that door.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Right? He just opened that door, let Leia out, and she's went gangbusters. So I just want to be a part at Lucasfilm of opening this door to a new generation of filmmakers, of women that come into Lucasfilm and can be creative. It's a strong future for Star Wars. Our force for women characters, strong women characters, intelligent women characters of all description. It won't just stop with 2 movies. It's something we're dedicated to for the foreseeable future, because they're just great characters. Thank you.
Somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way.
And on top of that, all Luke was good for was opening the door for Leia. So we clearly see where Filoni stands now when it comes to the politics of Disney Lucasfilm, and stating that there was never any lead characters in George Lucas' era of Star Wars, and we know there was. And we also know how he stands with the Mary Sue trope, and how he defended it or tried to defend it. He clearly did not. He basically said he wants all those characteristics of a Mary Sue. And so here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Filoni and his baloney. And that's all I have to say about that. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe and share to my channel. Leave a comment below, and let's create more discussion about this in the comments. Thank you so much again for watching, and may the force be with you.